So the British Touring Car Championship is ready to make its one sort of move outside of England, and we all know my opinions on this, but we are ready to go to Knockhill in Fife. It's a very short track. It is a very, very short track. It was opened in 1974. It's FIA Grade 4, so it's pretty low down in the rankings, to be fair. And it is quite a unique track as well, where you can go in reverse and you can go the actual way around. They have championships for both. BTCC first came to Knockhill in 92 till 2002 for a 10-year stretch, and they took a year off in 2003 and were back in there for 2004 all the way to the present day. And it is such a short track, it begs for drivers to be aggressive, kind of similar to Brands Indy in a sense. In the sense that it's short, you gotta make your moves done, and well, there's a hairpin. There's not like a proper hairpin like Brands Indy, but it's like almost like 100-degree kind of thing, where it's such a inside move like as possible. It's like an open kind of thing, and it's slightly uphill banked. And you go up towards the onto the line after that, so it sort of begs for you to try and send it in if possible. So, there's that element to it too. And I think the drivers personally love it too. I personally love watching it. And like I said, I just can't wait to watch it this weekend and see what happens. Especially with to see if Sutton can, continue his charge. Ingram can close back. Hopefully he does for the championship's sake. That'll make it a bit more interesting. But we'll have to see about that. But yes, it would just be so fascinating. And what happened last year was in qualifying, Charles Rainford in the 99 BMW for West Surrey Racing set pole with a 50 seconds, 0.675. But in the first race of the day then, it was Jake Hill who would be first, the reigning champion at the time, still reminding us why he had the number 1 plate on that laser BMW. Then Charles Rainford, who was a pole sitter, like I mentioned, in the second, and Tom Ingram in third. The ever consistent Tom Ingram of 2025 is now the ever consistent Ash Sutton of 2026. But as we come to race 2, Tom Ingram will be victorious. He did reign supreme at Knockhill with Ash Sutton second and Dan Camish third. So it was a Napa 2-3 for the Fords in race 2 in 2025. Then we get to the final race of the day. It's another race win for Jake Hill. I believe this was his only 2 race wins of the year. Please correct me if I'm wrong, especially you, Nina, because yes, you love the laser stuff. So I might be wrong there, but from what I remember, I think this was his only 2 wins on the year. But we'll have to see about that. I potentially might be wrong. And Dan Camish was third, and Ash Sutton was third. So it's Camish second, Sutton third. So yeah, another Napa double podium there. And yeah, it was a pretty fun last year from what I caught, and there was a lot of different storylines and a lot of different stuff to watch. But this was a really, really good BMW track last year, so it could be the same this year. We'll have to see. But I just can't see anyone getting it other than Sutton really, in terms of like being the consistency out of it and gaining the most points over the weekend. We'll have to see really what happens in the qualifying race, because that gives us a bit of an indication. You kind of see the same in Formula 1 with the sprint races, but yeah, well, they give you a bit of an idea of what to expect. But we'll have to see about that. But yeah, BMW, they may be competitive again. And after our fast frenetic weekend in Thruxton, the points championships are as Ash Sutton is in the lead in 284 points, 59 points ahead of the reigning champ, the 2-time champ, the Virtue champ in the Hyundai, Tom Ingram. And it's another Napa car in third. It is Dan Camish, who is 76 points back and quite close to Tom Ingram. So yes, it is another fight for second potentially, and with the way things are going, it is definitely going to materialise like that. So like I said, it would be good for either of these 2 guys, more likely Ingram because he is a top dog in that team, while Camish obviously is not. It would be good to see Ingram sort of get some more points back to Sutton, just for the intrigue sake of the championship. However, it really does depend on all these different circumstances as well. So it would just be quite good to see, but time will have to tell about that. And I am not too confident about that, but that's what I would like to see personally as well. But no matter what happens on the championship side or any of that, Knockhill is a great track for touring cars and is a great track for racing anyway. and they proper leans into it. And some cars it almost fly with the curbs. They go like that kind of thing. It's so good. It's really good for photographers as well. They have a field day with that for the shots for the promos of the season and stuff. I think that was a great shot of Aaron Taylor Smith a few years ago when he was back in the Vauxhall of Paramax Racing, back when they ran the Vauxhall full time, and it's basically like that. Almost like pretty much on the edge of what you can actually do without tipping it. So that is that's such a sight to behold, and it's such a great thing. I'd love to go one day to watch this there, because just to see sights like that and that would be worth it. But it's a very short track, but it's a very entertaining track, and with a lot of cars on track, well, it's going to be begging for drivers to be aggressive, begging for dive bombs, begging for action, and hopefully begging for sort of anything to happen. And the excitement is just amazing, especially for myself. So yeah, I'm just so excited for this weekend. I'm pumped. But well, BTCC is definitely going to be on my highlight this weekend. But will it be yours?